Alright, Lancer, so in 24 hours time, we are going to be finally getting our next SSR character release over in Bleach, so Residence, and that of course is going to be a new Zaraki Kenpachi. It might not seem like he's coming our way tomorrow, given the fact that Crunchyroll and the global side of the game has been, for some reason, radio silent. But over on the C version, we do have some information regarding the upcoming update, and we also do have our most recent patch notes posted on the Chinese website again that we are going to cover in today's video. So with that in mind, real quick, going over the new character, Kenpachi. As stated here, Kenpachi is the newest SSR, and he is going to be a full assault slash unit. That shouldn't come as a surprise, that's what was data mined, and that's also his exact role 2 to 3 years ago during the original beta tests. Now, Kenpachi is specializing in close range area damage, overwhelming enemies with rapid slashes and a wider range coverage. After inflicting the debuff Cleave, his follow-up attacks deal massively increased damage. When activating his ultimate, he removes his eye patch, releasing Spiritual Pressure Burst to deliver swift consecutive slashes, and finishing with a devastating blow with both hands on the blade. So, pretty much what we have seen in the gameplay. He does look to be a super fun unit, I will be honest. A bit annoying that he is a, slash full assault unit, given that we are still in desperate need of a new full assault strike unit, but it is what it is, right? With that, we are going to be getting a new weapon stamp and also core stamp unique to Kenpachi, but we are also going to be getting a new stamp set ready to go, again also specifically for Kenpachi. For the most part, this is going to be probably the common occurrence with any time a new character comes out, we're going to get a new stamp set for them. Maybe it would be nice to get a new character that doesn't need new stamp sets, because it's going to get a bit hectic in the future. Let's say we have like 50 new SSRs years from now, and there's like 50 different stamp sets. I think after a while, not that big of a deal to be fair, but it would be nice just to get a new character that wants to use a pre-existing set. Now, I don't believe we know what the stamp set does, but you can expect it to be designed for Kenpachi, maybe in regards to follow-up attacks, which seems to be a big part about Kenpachi with his technique damage. Now, continuing on with that, we are going to get new content, so we are getting the Kenpachi Zaraki event challenge. That's where we are going to have the ranking events, likely go up against the boss fight. I believe there's been some data mines that it might be up against Noritora, but don't quote me on that. It would be cool to see Noritora in-game though, and it would make sense given that, Kenpachi does fight against him. But with that, we are also getting a daily event, something that you do maybe 3 times a day just to get extra rewards. And then this is the weird one. We are getting a new character stat, Ailment Mastery, which significantly increases ailment damage. Now, this is a big deal for a big reason. So because we are getting a whole new character stat here, this might make characters like Gin, for example, better, but it might also mean that you have to re-roll his stamp sets, potentially, to go for that new stat. Because right now, if you are building Gin, you likely focused on, the usual stuff. Crit damage, crit rate, maybe ultimate charge rate, maybe attack, for example, but also, most importantly, ailment damage bonus. There's now going to be a new stat, Ailment Mastery, that's going to increase how much damage, I guess, ailment damage does, but that's what I thought the damage bonus was. So if that is the case, and this new stat is also going to be really good for Gin and also future ailment characters, it will be annoying if you've already, potentially finished your stamp farming. I know I'm kind of getting there. I'm personally happy with my second and third stamp set. Maybe the first one does need to be a little bit better, but for the most part, I'm kind of happy with my build on Gin right now. And if you're telling me I have to re-roll my stamps again, gonna be kind of annoying. But at the same time, because there is now a new stat, that also means an extra stat to get when you do get new pieces. So unfortunately, when it comes to farming for other characters that don't need any ailment mastery or ailment damage, for example, there is now an extra stat in the advanced stat section that you could get, which you probably don't want. So I'm not sure how I feel about this new stat being included in the game, because for those that do want it, it means that we might have to reroll again, go for new stamp sets. And for those that don't want it, it's now an extra stat to dilute the overall stat pool when it comes to farming gear. I guess, though, we'll see in due time how that does play out and whether we actually do want to invest in Ailment Mastery. But with that, we have some exciting stuff coming our way too. So first up, Yachiru is going to be getting a buff, and the buff is as follows. If the on-field character is Kenpachi, Spectate and Inspiration buffs from Yachiru are greatly increased. So if you're wondering what those buffs are, we don't know the exact numbers right now, but for example, Spectate does give 20% attack to your entire team. Maybe now with Kenpachi on the field, you get an extra 10%, so 30% attack. For those that didn't play the original beta, that came out like 2 to 3 years ago, I'm pretty sure Yachiru wasn't even a buff at the Slash characters, it was just strictly to Kenpachi. So kind of funny that, you know, with Kenpachi being removed from the game for years now, it did turn Yachiru into a really good team support character, but now she's potentially getting more usage if you are using Kenpachi for the extra Spectate buff and also Inspiration buff, which again is offering 10% more slash damage. In this case, maybe again it's going to go up to 20%. So kind of cool they actually brought back what Yachiru did do in the original beta, while also still keeping her really good for any slash character. She's just going to be specifically better when Kenpachi is on the field, and that's kind of cool with that synergy. With characters being designed to be used with characters that make sense, right? Yachiru and also Kenpachi, but I do like what we have been getting thus far. And what this also can potentially mean, right, if you are using Kenpachi, if you are going to summon for him tomorrow, right, it potentially means that you can free up Kisuke, who again is a character that buffs every character in the game, more so slash characters, so he does provide extra buffs, but he is a universal booster. So when it comes to Frenzy Feast, if you're looking to build a team, which team wants to use Kisuke? Well, if you're using Kenpachi, and the buffs are actually quite solid that Yachiru does give to him, you can now take out Kisuke and then put him in your weakest team to buff them more. Now, since Kenpachi is a slash-type character, we are getting slash-type buffs, so Byakuya is also getting an increase, in this case, enhancing the passive skill Peerless. The duration of the slash resistance reduction per stack has been increased from 6 seconds to 15 seconds, so quite a noticeable upgrade. I've always felt like 6 seconds was super short, so I do like this upgrade overall, just more damage for your team, more consistent damage. With that, we are also getting more content. So right now in the Trout Tower, the max floor is 15 for each typing. That is now going to go up to 25, so plenty of stuff to do tomorrow alongside the new events, a bunch of challenges to challenge yourself, more rewards. But not only that, not only are we getting 10 extra floors, which for the most part is 40 extra floors if you count all the individual typings, we are also getting a limited time trial. So an extra trial to do for the time that it is available, and potentially again more rewards. Now, continuing on with the character buffs, the SSR Memory Bond 3 with Gin and also Rangiku are also going to have its effects increased. I am not exactly sure on what the number is going to go up by, but as you'll see here, it does currently give 32% technique damage, and then if your element damage bonus is above 150, you do get an extra 40%. I'm going to assume the buff will be relatively straightforward and also not as big, so maybe now you get an extra 50% instead of 40. Again, we'll find that out tomorrow. So yeah, pretty cool stuff coming our way. I'm actually liking what I'm seeing here. It's just the standard new character update. But right now, we kind of have a lot going on with the increase of floor numbers for the Trial Tower, the buffs to certain characters, and also Gin technically. So plenty of characters getting buffed here, and then also extra content with the limited time trial floor. Now, with that, we also have more news regarding the upcoming update. In this case, we have some patch notes here. They are in Chinese, but they are relatively simple to follow through. So first up, we are going to be getting the Kenpachi banner. This is going to be his character artwork in the banner itself. Looks really cool. Again, guaranteed in 80 summons, and then we also do have his weapon stamp guaranteed in 40 summons. He'll be here for 3 weeks, so that means Grimmjow, if he is going to be the next character, will be seen February 19th, so not too long to go, right? Now, alongside the release of Kenpachi, we are going to be getting the following rewards. So the top left one, the 400 Spirit Jades and 3 stamina refills, is going to be for the maintenance compensation. On the right, we are going to have our usual login event, where if you log in for the course of a week, you are going to get 5 limited character summon tickets and 5 limited weapon summon tickets. And then through the Kenpachi event, you are going to get upwards to 1,695 Spirit Jades, 11 Corridor Keys, and also 6 Stamina Refreshes once more. Pretty good rewards overall. Now, on the 6th of February, so this is going to be our second week, so a week from now pretty much, this is going to be the extra rewards that you can get from the Trial Towers. So the Trial Tower update, where we are going to get 25 floors, that, from the looks of it, doesn't seem to be here until the 6th of February. And the rewards are overall looking pretty good. Specifically in the right half, you can see 2,400 Spirit Jades and also 40 character summon tickets or weapon summon tickets, just tickets in general. So a lot of Jades and a lot of summon tickets will be had on the 6th of February. But that's not all we're getting. We're also getting a bunch of other events. In this case, 480 Spirit Jades, 300, another 800, another 600 with more corridor keys. And then starting on the 9th of February, we are going to get extra rewards. In this case, a free character summon ticket and weapon summon ticket, limited ones, normal banner ones. We're getting more stamina refills, also corridor keys, and also 250 Spirit Jades, but these will be given out through codes. It's been a minute since we last received some new codes, but we're going to get a bunch of them, and in total, we are going to get all of those. So what this does mean, if we combine all the rewards here, this means we're getting a lot of Spirit Jades and also a lot of summon tickets, especially when you include the limited time travel rewards that we are getting on the 6th of February. If you combine all the summon tickets that we are getting and Spirit Jades and put a number value, we're looking at around 15,000 Spirit Jades, and in total, almost 100 summons that you can get over the next 2 weeks from the limited banners and also the default banner, which is actually really cool and super generous again. So yeah, overall, this is looking like a pretty good patch. Kenpachi looks to be a fun character. Excited to try him out tomorrow when he does release. Again, kind of annoying that Global hasn't said anything regarding this character's release. If you weren't following YouTubers or going on Twitter or going on scavenging their, Chinese Bilibili website, you wouldn't even know Kenpachi's releasing tomorrow, unfortunately. But there seems to be a lot of stuff coming our way, so it's exciting nonetheless. Would be more exciting, though, if, Global would be announcing stuff ahead of time. Either way, let me know what you'd like to think about the patch that we are getting tomorrow. I'm curious to know what you have to say, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and peace.